We're talking about a staggering N5.78 billion. Mm-hmm. This is a deep dive into a pretty serious legal battle, really, surrounding alleged financial irregularities in Nigeria, specifically Kwara State.
Exactly. Today, we're sort of dissecting the ongoing trial of Abdulfatah Ahmed. He's the former governor of Kwara State, and his ex-finance commissioner, Ademola Banu. Our mission really is to untangle this complex story of alleged fund diversion. We're focusing specifically on Universal Basic Education Commission grants, UBEC grants.
Right, UBEC. So this N5.78 billion, I mean, it's a huge amount. Where is it supposed to go? Our sources are telling us these were UBEC grants earmarked between, 2013, 2015 for really vital educational infrastructure. No. Things like new classrooms, libraries, ICT centers, stuff needed across Kwara State's 16 local government areas. But the prosecution, the EFCC, they alleged these funds were, diverted, not just, moved around, but actually diverted.
Mm-hmm. And what's quite interesting here is how the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, Nigeria's main anti-graft agency, how they actually started their probe. It apparently all kicked off from a petition dated April 17th, 2024. Alleging this specific diversion. The EFCC investigator, Stanley Ujilibo, he detailed how they systematically traced the money, followed the fund flow through bank statements, specifically from Polaris and Guarantee Trust Bank.
Okay, so they followed the paper trail.
Pretty much. These were the key accounts linked to the State Universal Basic Education Board, or SUBEB. So these accounts were basically the pipeline for these federal education grants coming into the state.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, right? There's this testimony that seems to, throw a bit of a curveball. Because while the EFCC is saying diversion, a key prosecution witness, Suleiman Ishola, who was the Kwara State Accountant-General from 2013 to 2019, so he was right there, he told the court that neither the former Governor Ahmed nor Commissioner Banu personally received or authorized the disbursement of these specific funds.
Yeah, that's a significant point.
It really is. So, if their own witness says the top guys didn't personally authorize it for this specific issue and that some money went to salaries with approval, well, how does that square with the EFCC's main charge? It sounds like a major twist.
It absolutely complicates the narrative. Ishola testified that a specific N1 billion UBEC matching grant from 2015, the kind where the state has to put in money too. That money was actually borrowed and then used to pay civil servants' salaries and pensions.
Salaries and pensions, okay.
Yes. And according to him, this had the necessary approvals from SUBEB, the State Education Board. And this actually lines up with what a former SUBEB chairman, Lanre Daibu, said earlier. He confirmed approvals given to use the grant for salaries.
So there was approval, at least at the SUBEB level, for using that portion for salaries.
That seems to be the testimony. But you see, while the defense might argue, look, it was a necessary move to pay workers, the prosecution's argument is based on the law. The UBEC Act specifically earmarks these funds for infrastructure projects, period. And if you connect this back to the bigger picture, UBEC's officials themselves, like Assistant Director Hassan Abubakar, they stated that something like 51 educational projects intended for these funds, were just left hanging. Unexecuted or abandoned because the money wasn't there, it went elsewhere.
Right. So what does this boil down to for you listening? It's complex. On one side, you have public money, clearly meant for schools, allegedly being misused. That's serious. But on the other side, the defense suggests, we used it to pay salaries and pensions, which is also a critical public need, right?
It is.
It really highlights this tough spot, this dilemma officials face. Deal with the immediate fire unpaid salaries or stick rigidly to the long-term plan funded by earmarked money. It makes you wonder about the true cost, legally and for the people, of making those kinds of choices.
Exactly. The EFCC is sticking to its guns, saying these actions broke the UBEC Act, fundamentally undermining basic education goals. And the deeper insight, I think, is that even if you solve an immediate salary crisis, the fallout from abandoned school projects, that can hurt a community for years. Think about it. Classrooms without roofs, unusable toilets, no computers. These aren't just line items. They're investments in kids' futures.
Yeah, absolutely.
The trial itself is ongoing. It's adjourned until October 16th and 17th, 2025.
Yeah.
But the questions this case raises about accountability, about priorities, about development, they'll definitely stick around.
It really is a powerful example of that tightrope walk, isn't it? Between immediate public needs and those crucial long-term goals in government.
So what really stands out to you in this whole deep dive, this look at public funds, where they're supposed to go versus where they sometimes end up? It really does make you think, doesn't it, about the lasting impact when schools, toilets, ICT centers, when they stay unfinished because the money meant for them got used for something else, however pressing that something else seemed at the time.